Now let's take a look at your betting preview for the Vikings and the Eagles National Championship, or NFC Championship game. Brought to you by Joe Duffy's Picks at OffshoreInsiders.com. In fact, Joe Duffy's Picks, a mere 208 and 137 with all football picks since August the 27th. Both sides are wise guy plays. The biggest bet in the industry is a wise guy play from Joe Duffy's Picks. It's been that case for years, going back to the score phones. Actually, we used to have five-star plays on our old Cadillac Club, but wise guy plays are the equivalent. You've also got the top total of the two games, and the other total is quite possible. And it's all at OffshoreInsiders.com. Now let's take a look at the Minnesota Vikings, -3 with a total of 38.5 at Philadelphia. Both teams are 11-6 against the spread. The Eagles have the second best against the spread margin, covering by an average of 6.1, again also known as the sweat barometer. The Vikings are fourth in the NFL at plus 4.5. Philadelphia is going under 6-3 at home. Now the Vikings complete 67.4% of their passes to defenses allowing just 63, and they get 7.2 yards, passing yards per attempt to teams that normally allow 6.7. So that's pretty significant. A lot of people, does Case Keenum get the credit that he deserves? Well, the statistics say no. He's actually performed better than he should if he were an average quarterback against the respective defenses. He continues to be very efficient. Vikings do hold teams to 0.4 yards per rush and 0.1 or 1.2 passing yards per attempt below their normal average, and 0.7 yards per play. It was certainly a well-known fact the Vikings' defense has been tremendous this year. The Eagles have, but this is why we like the ratings a little bit better than the rankings. The Eagles hold teams to 0.3 yards per rush, 0.6 yards per pass, and 0.3 yards per play below their normal average. Quite good, but not quite as dominant as the Vikings. Now, the Eagles allowed only 26 points their last three games, compared to the Vikings, though 24 the last game, and of course they got torched in that fourth quarter. With Ajayi and Blount, they got great guys to get 3 to 5 yards at a time, but the Vikings, but against the Vikes, maybe a home run hitter could be needed, because the Vikings obviously are the very tough team to get 4 or 5 yards at a time. Philly will run away from Everson Griffin and Linval Joseph. It's widely agreed that's going to be their strategy behind Brandon Brooks and Lane Joseph. The Eagles will miss Jason Peters the most, blocking Everson Griffin in this game. With Vaitai, looks like he could be a little bit of a mismatch trying to block Griffin. The Eagles, though, their best bet, Alshon Jeffrey. He hasn't quite clicked with Nick Foles, but he does have a height advantage over Xavier Rhodes, and that will be where Philly can exploit. Can Nelson Aguilar also have his breakout game with Foles? The Eagles don't match up well, though, with big athletic tight ends like Kyle Rudolph. That is some worry, but of course, you have a team that's been tremendous and a home underdog. Remember, the odds makers here are implying there is about a 7 to 8 point difference, about a 7.5, 8.5 point difference with Nick Foles in there. And is he really that much of a drop-off from Carson Wentz? I think that's what we saw the last game, where the Falcons did have a chance to push the game. They got a touchdown and 2-point conversion. But even if there is a drop-off, is it really as much as the odds makers are saying? Remember, 3 points, and it really varies. Some cases you get 3.5 with a little bit more juice. 3 points is a lot to be getting at home. Now, again, folks, we are also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. If you're a client of Joe Duffy's Picks, getting paid on time is the single most important thing. MyBookie.ag does that, and we've arranged it. They have different promos at different times. If you enter the promo code Duffy, that means you're going to get the best sign-up bonus that they allow. Usually it's at least 50%. So that's right. You deposit $1,000. You can bet with $1,500 tonight. $1,500 tonight. MyBookie.ag. I have 5 sports books that are in my regular rotation that I shop around for lines. You always want to shop around. Never get screwed by a line move. MyBookie.ag absolutely, positively, most definitely should be one of your outs when you do shop around for lines. Promo code Duffy, D-U-F-F-Y.